Previously on Dual Spirit Adventures, I was interrogated by Interpol. My lunch was interrupted by Interpol. My luggage was checked by Interpol. And then I was let into El Salvador by the border authorities. Then I saw a pig struggle. Then off to Honduras, where I was ripped off. Some more police, and I entered Nicaragua, where I was
the first Indian in this hostel.
Since you opened.
Yeah.
I literally saw the Earth's core in Nicaragua. Then things got a little crazy, starting with the spoiler on this bus, to bikes having sari guards, and me almost running over a dog. Next country in line was Costa Rica. Before diving into Costa Rica, you guys noticed the number of tuk-tuks that were in Central America? They were literally everywhere here, but it's not a common sight in the rest of the world. Unless, of course, you were in India. Anyway, Costa Rica. This was my second time here. I was in Costa Rica a couple of years ago with a friend and explored it thoroughly on rental bikes. I even made a video out of it. I will share the link in the description below. This time around though, I was just trying to get through. So I rode under some windmills, saw a very colorful snake, which was dead. Some more snakes, but this time they were alive. Cops on dirt bikes, and some 150-year-old tortoises eating grass. A restaurant taking marketing to whole new levels. And that's it. It was time to enter the last of 7 Central American countries, Panama. The Panamanian border was the most civilized among all Central American countries. It was quick and straightforward. Then I faced the dangers of smooth roads. Yep, you heard it right. Let me explain. Highways in Panama are arrow straight, glass smooth, but restricted to a very strict 60 kilometers per hour. When I say strict, the cops were radar gunning everywhere. I mean everywhere. Literally, for every 10 miles, there was a cop speed gunning. This was the most cops I had seen in a while. I mean, there were more cops on Panama highways than the US-Mexico border. Anyway, coming back to the point, it's dangerous because low speed limit, straight and smooth roads, coupled with a heavy meal that you just had, there is a good chance that you would doze off while driving. Sleeping behind the wheel is far more dangerous than driving over the speed limit. Fact. Increase the bloody speed limits. To keep myself from falling asleep, and also it was hot as hell, I had to stop for a tender coconut. Any excuse to drink tender coconut really. And it only cost me 25 cents. Panama, being the only Central American country to have relaxed drone rules, it would be a shame not to fly it. In Panama City, I stayed in this lovely hostel, Panama Bed and Breakfast. where this pet parrot could say hola. Having established that this parrot could speak more Spanish than I did, I went on to meet other riders in the hostel. I met Greg Holmes, an absolute legend of a man from New Zealand, who was on his Africa twin riding around the world. We first met in Alaska between Anchorage and Fairbanks by the side of the road, exchanged Facebook details, chatted for about 10 minutes and went our separate ways. And the next time we met was here in Panama. And then there was Dawes, the first Kenyan to be riding around the globe. Then there were two other Polish guys, Rafał and Yurik. All of us but Dawes were waiting here to catch the boat to Colombia. Anyway, being in Panama City, it would be a shame not to go to the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal was one from my bucket list. It really is mind-blowing to see a giant cargo ship squeezing through a tiny canal right before your eyes. The cost of crossing the Panama Canal is anywhere between $300,000 to $1 million, without which the ships would have to go around the continent of South America, which would cost the ships more money in terms of fuel. And in a day, anywhere between 30 to 40 ships cross the canal, bringing in a huge influx of money to the Panamanian government. No wonder Panama City looked like New York City and had Ferrari dealerships like it was Toyota. I spent a good 3 days in Panama City, but my time to catch the boat to Colombia was here. The four of us set off, bidding goodbyes to everyone in the hostel, just to sit in the rush hour traffic. Eventually, we made out of rush hour traffic and out onto the city's highways, and Panama constantly reminding us of its riches. With its tall skyscrapers lined along the bay waters, how many of you think this reminds you of New York City? It certainly did for me. Anyhow, today's ride was just about 100 k's to a port on the Caribbean side of Panama. This is where our boat was waiting for us. We made it out of the city, endured some hard rain and a broken chain link. Eventually though, we made it to the small gravel path which led to the port, and there it was. The Stahlrad, a 100-year-old German sailboat which was going to take us and our motorcycles across the Caribbean. We rolled up next to two late 80s Africa twins. The lineup of other adventure bikes and riders were great too, it seemed like. We were excited for this experience that lay ahead of us. We loaded our panniers onto the boat and floated away to board the ship. This is also the best time for me to end episode 11. In my next episode, I will share all my experience on the Stahlrad. Just hit that subscribe button